The stories we hear about these children and their families are often heartbreaking. What encourages us to act and inspires us to help is their strength, their courage, and that's certainly the case with a brave young boy from Prince George named Alistair and his wonderful family.
I'll stand by you. I'll stand by you. Won't let nobody hurt you. I'll stand by you.
They were so excited he would be their first child. Then, 19 weeks into her pregnancy, Alistair's mom and dad learned Alistair's tiny little heart was on the wrong side of his chest.
He was dealing with a congenital diaphragmatic hernia, so basically some of his organs in his stomach were up in his left chest, pushing his heart over.
19 weeks later, labor was induced.
We were told there was a 25% chance that he would make it. Alistair came out and he wasn't breathing.
When they saw their newborn son again, he was in neonatal intensive care.
So he was on a multitude of machines and IV drips and ventilator, and it was quite overwhelming.
But Alistair was strong. He did well, and the doctors were optimistic.
We were told that if he went on the right track, that basically he'd be like any other 7-year-old in the future.
But it wasn't to be. 9 weeks after being born, Alistair was released from Prince George Hospital.
He started to have seizures. And I was really hopeful that it was something like a temperature-related seizure, but unfortunately it wasn't.
A few months later, they learned Alistair was extremely hard of hearing, and he was fitted with a bone conduction hearing aid. Their hope dimmed, but they never gave up.
Alistair's been a little roller coaster. Eventually we got him walking probably 20 paces a day for months, actually.
Yeah. Wow, Alistair!
And then one day he just picked up his legs and he just, no more.
Dreams have faded, and Alistair now has many challenges.
We've just decided to accept him as he is.
He'll be what he is, and we'll help him along his way.
They found some of that help when they called Variety, the children's charity.
Variety gave us a $5,000 grant to put in a lift in the back of our van, which helps immensely.
It would be a huge financial burden to come up with that amount of money. To have Variety help us financially in that way, it is huge.
I don't have to bend down and actually put his awkward wheelchair into the back of the van, which is huge because if I get hurt, then we're in a lot of trouble. We're hugely appreciative.
Alistair's needs are so great. His mom and dad are sure they will need to call on Variety again.
I don't know what his prognosis is. I don't know. In one way, it's scary to think that he'd live longer than us. Because if he does, we'll take care of him. And then the other way is you sure don't want your children to die before you.
They live with fear and sorrow, and every now and again, a touch of hope.
Close your eyes and make one wish. That our little boy could lead a normal life. Good wish.
Good wish.
Say hi to Barbara yet?
Phew, hope you've got a tissue. The McMillan family is with me now, and Alistair, the star of the show, Dad Jason, Mom Julie, and little sister Frances. Hey guys, you guys came all the way from Prince George. So Julie, let's start with you. Tell me how this is different than, you're a nurse. Tell me how that's different than, say, other moms who have kids with special needs. How does it make it different, the experience?
I don't know how
different it really is, because I find most moms and parents that have special needs children, they become a professional of their own child. So if you want to know the details of that child, you talk to the parent because they have a really high understanding of that. So perhaps a couple things that make it easier for me is that when I'm in the hospital environment, I understand that environment. I'm comfortable with it. It makes me at ease. And just understanding the lingo, it helps that way.
Yeah. And Alistair, or Jason, excuse me, Alistair and his sister have a special relationship. Tell me about that.
I don't know if it's so much special.
Or maybe
it's
a typical relationship.
It's a typical relationship, very sibling-like. She gets into trouble and he gets a giggle out of it. He's her normal. He's not special needs, he's just special. He's her big brother.
Mm-hmm. And Julie, I mean, it's got to be tough because this isn't typical. I mean, you don't hear about stories like yours very often. I mean, we don't have really a great idea of exactly what the diagnosis is or what the prognosis is, right?
That's right. We don't know the prognosis. He's an undiagnosed child. They give him a label of global developmental delay, but he was born with a congenital diaphragmatic hernia, so his stomach and intestines were up on his left chest, pushing his heart over, and we were told he would be a typical kid if he survived that. And 9 weeks after, he started having seizures, and he's just progressed to having all these anomalies.
It's tough enough to have a kid with special needs. How much more frustrating does it make it, though, that there's no prognosis? You don't really know.
I think the biggest worry is that you worry that there's something that's going to pop up that we weren't expecting. And I think that's the benefit of having a diagnosis, is that you can know that maybe at a certain age their kidneys might start to fail or that kind of thing. And we don't have that understanding. We don't know his lifespan. So it can be difficult in that way, but we've just tried to accept it.
And obviously the reason that we're here is because Variety does some incredible work. Jason, tell me about what they've been able to do for your family.
They've been able to help us with the lift for the van, so Mom doesn't have to try so hard to get the boys' equipment in and out. It helps saves Mom's back quite a bit.
Mm-hmm. And are you going to need more equipment, or have they done what they need for you?
We definitely will need more equipment. He's just getting bigger, and as my husband says, we're getting older, so we're going to need more supportive equipment, and his communication is also something that's going to need more enhancement.
Okay, we've got a bit of a surprise for you guys. A very generous friend of Variety, Lynx Equity Limited, this year has provided a gift of toys for Francis and Alistair. These will keep Alistair and Francis pretty busy, so hopefully you guys can enjoy those. And thank you so much for coming on and sharing your story with us. Again, the number is 310 Kids.